Alright. That's him. It's got to be him, right?
An old man wearing tracksuit trousers leans on the frame stock of his rifle. He gathers, then spits it out into the extinguished fire before him. He raises his black eyes, hooded by creased eyelids, to meet yours, unclouded by cataracts. His eyesight is sharp.
The what now? I can't hear you. I may have. All sorts of little rats have come sniffing around.
The position sounds like a hiding place.
Fire guy. Regressive bourgeoisie henchman. Can't even talk like a grown-up. My eyesight? Yes. Helps me see all the shit. I did. And you opened it. How? I should have burned that console down. Reactionary rock and roll music. Playing on the water.
Told you we shouldn't play sad FM.
The fascists were right about rock and roll. It is degenerate. Hip gyrating, mental illness music.
Wait a minute. Is this guy a communist? If he is, then I was right. It was fucking communism. It was fucking communism that did it.
It's not nice. It's a piece of shit. But it gets the job done. It's a Triangong 446.
Southeast Samaran made. Exotic. Must be defunct too. No modern rifle.
A Samaran rifle. How did you...
It was sent to us by our brothers in the Sinyao commune. Military.
It has stayed true to him. He can still make it sing.
You heard me. It's good now. Like chalk, white from the ball. Yes, I bet you've killed a lot of people with it. You fascist fuck. Have you come to make me one of them?
His right eye twitches. With what?
We have come to ask you questions. Nothing more. If you do not comply, we will take you in.
The lieutenant pulls his pistol from the holster.
You are a glorified night watchman. This is a service rifle. I can only lay it down before an enemy commander of corresponding rank.
It's a good line, but your voice slips on, Commander.
A big-time operator of the pederast army. How about I keep it, huh? Hand it over to a real killer.
The lieutenant aims his pistol square at the...
Put it down now, sir.
Or you're gonna blow my brains out before you question me. It's out of bullets.
His gaze follows your motions. The rifle feels surprisingly light, still warm from his parched hands. Not the metal. The metal is ice cold. This weapon has been modified several times. The rifle's in a shabby state, like a crutch that's seen too much travel. Hieroglyphs are on the butt. You see Vespertine writing, burnt into the wood. Triangong, 4.46mm, made in Sinya.
No one said it has to be a Benagrave. We were just guessing.
From ballistics, it could easily have been a triangle, too.
It doesn't matter if it was made in Shanti Shanti. All it has to do is use jacketed ammunition. And it's the right type and the right calibre. I wonder how old it is.
The old man does not answer. The old man keeps following your motion with his gaze. His right arm twitches suddenly. This looked very much like the murder weapon. It could be used against him to get a confession in time.
My name is Josef Lilianovich Dross, Political Commissar of the 114th Anti-Aircraft Division of the 4th Army of the Commune of Revachol. I am a deserter, a partisan, and a prisoner of war. This is my...
The Commune of Revachol? Do you mean the ICM? Your holdover from the...
From the Insular Indian Citizens Militia, the Army of the Revolution. I was recruited in Jamrock in '07, trained in the École de Contrôle Orient, and consigned to emergency defense duties in '08. I left my unit on the eve of the landing. When I returned here on May 14th, the commune had fallen. Still armed and ideologically trained, I wrote a criticism of myself and resumed partisan duties.
51 minus 8 equals 43.
No. I've been on other islands, too. I was in Resurrection until they turned it into a spa in 18. Then I was on E48, a nameless sound, until the sea washed over it. Then I came back here. That was 22 years ago. 43 years and 10 months. It's not how a human being should live. But I had to. I couldn't just forget. I couldn't just forget what I saw.
What have you been doing during all this time?
Hiding, fishing, always waiting. Always for her to return.
Her who?
Girl, child, revolution. Always. The material base for an uprising has eroded. The working class has betrayed mankind and themselves. The historic opportunity for our revolution has passed. It will not come back anymore, however hard I try, whatever I do.
What has he done? Perhaps a confession will lighten the load.
Yes, what? To get things going again? Fan the flame?
There is no flame to fan. There is nothing left of the world, of our dreams. I was just 16 years old, 15 when I volunteered. I had a lapse of faith. And of courage, too. You could say I misunderstood the historic role of the proletariat and thought Mazovian socioeconomics were fallible. For a second, I doubted the irreducible laws of historic materialism. A second is all it took for reaction to take hold. It's the same thing. You haven't seen it. Not really. Not naked. It's impossible not to be afraid.
It remains unclear what it is. He makes leaps he doesn't expect you to follow.
And this was when?
May the 13th, 08, 44 years ago.
Back.
The horizon
So-
was black with coalition airships.
Oh, here we go. The fucking
Their
dessert.
petroleum rose to the sky, and it looked like it formed the clouds, storm clouds. When they started shelling, it was dark magic.
This
The
bitch ass needs to get
combined
shot.
might of international capital, all at once. All the greed and terror in the world tore into Revachol. It lifted streets from the ground and turned houses into ghosts. We were in the Flak Tower, huddled on the floor. The artillery was 80 kilometers away in Ozon, but I knew the commune would fall. We would all be turned into ash. So I said I was going to the map room. I ran. I climbed the chain link across the water and hid inland, in the bunkers underground, like the weakest of the weak. A mouse, frightened of the ordnance all night and the sound of the rotors in the morning, whirring. Airships. I climbed out into hell. The landing was complete. The chain was submerged. I had to swim back. The fortress was half submerged too, shattered. They'd all drowned in the lower levels or got torn to shreds above. The anti-aircraft gun had malfunctioned. So had I. I left them without ideological direction. It was real. I'd seen it. I'd seen it in reality. The mask of humanity fall from capital. It has to take it off to kill everyone, everything you love. All the hope and tenderness in the world. It has to take it off just for 1 second to do the deed. And then you see it, as it strangles and beats your friends to death. The sweetest, most courageous people in the world. You see the fear and power in its eyes. Then you know that the bourgeois
alright.
are not human. I had to fight it. I had to never stop. It's not an island, Dwight. It's a defensive fortification of the commune of Revachol. And I am it. The congenitally deformed King Philip II built it to restrict access to the Bay of Revachol. We captured it in '02, retrofitted the fort. Coalition military called it Operation Deathblow. I later found out on the Deathblow. You're one of them. Tell me, who speaks like that? We had 50 million people on Caillou alone. Sure you are. You're RCM. Answer me. Who calls an operation against 50 million people Deathblow? Iblis. The black-eyed angel. How does anyone survive? I steal.
Now hold on there.
You're insane and grotesque. Everyone steals. Vegetables, supplies. It's the life of a dog.
How is your health, Mr.
I've been throwing up blood since winter. Red, like beetroot. Been
The RCM can provide medical services. You need to be looked over.
I need to die. You don't have medical facilities. You have guns. That's all they give you. Toy guns. There's nothing to look over. The triage is in, and it's black. Administer morphine. Moribund. I have been running out of that stuff. I haven't. I have holes in my brain. Years missing. Others filled with pain only. A decade of... I don't even know what. Inferno?
I would imagine it gets tremendously difficult mentally.
Traitors. It's better alone. I watch the people of this city turn the lights back on more and more each year. Ruins, glimmering in the dark, like a fucking merry-go-round. It's disgusting. It was hard in the Thames. I didn't have partisan training. They were searching for stragglers, those bloodhounds. Floodlights on the water at night.
There were posters.
We communards still hoped, and they needed to snuff that hope out. The East capitulated. Martinez and Cold City were turned to dust. But Jamrock, Forburg, even Coron, and Boogie Street, of course. Those fucking kips had Marsov coursing through their veins. And others too. Some cordons of Revachol was still fighting. There were cells. I tried to contact them. Soon they all went silent. The frequencies dead. At night, I used a dinghy. I only went after dark then. When I got to the city, I stayed underground. Patrols, you lot, the commons too. They'd started snitching.
In the city, you move underground?
From bunker to bunker. Not anymore. No one cares now. I don't even have to hide. They think I'm another antisocial vagrant. I could walk straight into that town if I wanted. I just... So you finally found it. There must have been a small squadron's worth of arms in there. Elmer Graves, right? I know.
So you've been there?
Sleeping. Some nights. Ammo scrounging on others. Those McGraves were shit, even before they corroded. Some had bullets in the chamber, however.
Wait, how did he get down there?
I didn't have to. Came in through the
Storm drain?
There used to be a system that connected the bunkers, tunnels and such, under the church and everywhere. Most of them are gone now, collapsed, just bricks. All the old infrastructure has. I don't want to. They're all traitors. Pigs, rabbits, and dogs. Men without ideals are only animals. The propaganda bunker. I used to, but not anymore.
Propaganda bunker?
They stored leaflets there. Broadcasting equipment too. Made broadcasts, I think. Propaganda officers. I buried them with their leaflets. They killed themselves. 2 young boys. A lot of our boys did. I spent some winters there. Never liked it. Kept thinking of them. No need to go underground anymore. It's better in the ruins, on the ground. I do. They're good. Plenty of tar. I like that boy on the pack, too. Reminds me of the last century.
The old man looks across the water, at the city, the ruins, the motorways rising above it.
You're with the RCM, the coalition-appointed mob that enforces bourgeois morals in Revachol. You're the RCM. You represent the Moralist International, the enemies of humanity who took this city. I represent their adversary, le Parti Communiste d'Insolande. Take me to them as a prisoner of war. I have relinquished my weapon. I can no longer serve. No superiors can relieve me of my duty. You bulldoze them all to a mass grave for trying to free humanity.
A spray of blood from his mouth on the black charcoal in the fire pit. Rene, the royalist on the coast, said,
Liberal reactionaries signed that instrument. Traitors who should have been burned alive. I answer to the Communist Party.
Is that part of why you've been here all this time? Because the party didn't surrender?
He just wipes the blood from his chin.
Honor is a feudal atavism. My motive is class. No, I am not a soldier. I am an ideological officer. I belong to the party, not the army. Trained in historical materialism, then assigned as a political commissar by the party. These things used to mean something.
He nods slowly, then another tremor.
You're part of the meat shield. The human meat shield that surrounds the fascists and the license holders. You take the fire while they rape and kill. That's what you are.
Detective, we have not come here to discuss ideology. We have come to ask questions regarding a murder.
The old man spits into the fire pit. The expression on his face is unreadable.
There's nothing serious in this world. It's a farce. I've used it for killing people.
Killing people?
It's a gun. That's what they're for. You want a moralist euphemism? Defending your family and your property. I haven't done that. I've used it to kill people.
Interesting. During or after the war?
There is no after the war.
So he's continued killing after hostilities ended. Okay. Okay. This is it. You can feel it, like battery acid on the tip of your tongue. Something you haven't felt in a while. But this is what you live for. This is the shit. The great serotonin jackpot. The solution. Go in straight. No euphemisms. No. Be careful now. Slow and steady does it. Make him repeat it first. Don't mess this up. Remember, he wants to tell you. Get personal.
I don't want to tell you.
And why did you think that was a good idea? Don't listen to me.
What did I just say?
What did I just tell you? Don't drop the ball now.
The who now?
He heard you. He just wants to hear you say it again. This is dramatic flair on his part. Right choice. We're in. Do it, sire.
Oh yes, that one. Ugly piece of work, that boy.
Did you kill him?
I am a son of a welder. and an officer of the commune of Revachol.
A drop of blood in the saliva. Exhaust him with proof. Pilot the gun. The murder weapon is the perfect opener. The scent of blood in the air. But what else? There was something you can't remember.
You're lost, Dwight. You're lost.
What strikes you about this gaunt man is not the stomach pain, or the cough, or the malnutrition. For a man who's spent 44 years, indeed, he speaks fluidly. His movements are rapid, if erratic. His voice, despite the cough, is there. It is capable. It's a mystery. This animation comes at a cost too. Erratic hand gestures, thought processes cut off like threads, as he just stares at the logs or the reeds. He also suffers mood swings, bubbling to the surface. You've seen demented people before. This feels similar, yet different. When his thoughts move, they are lucid, keen even. Not.
No, I'm not okay. I shit blood, and I'm surrounded by insane people.
There it is again. Erratic hand motions, bouts of rage, and the stomach thing too, of course.
Petty bourgeois law. This is all you care about, right? The only thing in the world for you type.
A drop of blood in the saliva. That's right. Pile it all on him now. 3 should do it. Maybe 4.
Not a lot of guns around that use military grade ammunition.
It's a real gun. Not like your little musketeer pistol. I've seen you prance around with that. Jumping hoops for the liberals. You look like imbeciles. Why don't you ask them to give you real weapons? Going against automatic rifles with these toy guns. Of course you got those boys killed.
Ouch.
Damn, he saw you. He's watched it happen.
You know what? You're right. I'm convinced this made the shot. Should we call it? .46 jacketed ammunition, modified for range. We have it. This is it. Good. This feels good, doesn't it? Tearing things up like this. When you have the murder weapon, you have the killer.
Murder.
This pushed him, but not enough. Just a little more.
I saw you poking around there, looking for evidence. You're damn diligent when it comes to dead fascies. Did you like the view?
You had direct visibility. There are embrasures in the concrete, specifically meant for a top follower to use. And you had a long-range rifle in your possession. You have been here a long time, Mr. Dross. Too long. You need medical aid.
I'm ready to die. I've done my part.
He's practically admitting to it. Dead fascists for fascists. Done his part.
Because it's a sniper's nest, you stupid fuck. Radio Gosh is right. You have worms in your brain.
Almost. He almost burst out there. Keep piling arguments. Anything.
Stupid twat.
The lieutenant looks at you with worry.
Oh
in
yeah,
his
shit, the body
eyes.
literally said, communism killed him?
Nature does not behave in a para-natural manner. Aberrant bourgeois musings. magic Earl creatures, and esoteric sensations. It's all
Crypto-fascism.
crypto-fascism. Your brain is rotting from the radio waves.
He does not answer the provocation. It does not look like he thinks this approach worked. Yeah, this just did nothing. But still, somehow you knew it was a communist. Perhaps you suspected it before you took the case. The vision was you remembering that. No, the miracle is still waiting. This is the darkness. Was it supposed to? The inland sea is dark, vast, and on the surface, meaningless. You are. Soon it will happen.
Standing there, slack-jawed, brain festering.
Wait, here it comes. The goddamn Maybells. The dried Maybells on Clausia's roof. There were Maybells in the grass when you got here. They're revolutionary symbols. Nowhere else, nowhere in all of Martinaise have you seen them this spring. Wait, don't forget the footprints. The diagonal prints in the dust in the secret space behind Clausia's bedroom. Now, you got it. Remember, the boot prints were like no modern soul.
Damn Maybells. The whole island is turning white with them. So many this year, too. The spring is coming. No, it's already here. Wash the filth away. They blossom on the islets before we fertilize them with our blood. Resurrection was snow white in May before they ruined it. The coast, too, before they piled their containers on top of it, filled with broken, useless trash for fat-fingered bourgeois children to play with.
You must get around a lot to stay undetected all these years. Do you know any secret paths? Pinball workshops?
I may. Classier.
He repeats the name with care, as if it were at risk of breaking.
With the victim.
There is a small tremble, looks like a smile, a crooked smile, yet isn't quite voluntary. He's about to burst. Don't leave any loose ends. Get him on everything.
Everything is brands with you individualists. Who cares what brand my shoes are? Sansa. Some shit.
Show me the souls, please, Mr.
Fucking imbecile.
The maker is Sensorique. The model is Cordobe. And the side. These are not the unusual horizontal pattern souls you saw in the dust on the floor of the hidden room. They do, however, seem to be about the same size.
The size fits, but not the soul.
Sire, he doesn't have to be wearing them right now.
Racking those brains, are you? Desperate to report something back to your masters? They must have really loved that dead fuck.
The lieutenant gives you a quick sideways glance and nods to acknowledge. The prints were his. You can see it in those eyes. He can't keep them from flickering, looking for something. The old man stares at his own prints in the ash around the fire. Silent suddenly, some strange process within him. A gush of...
You know who he was. A coalition-trained murderer, armored and armed. He wasn't human. The blunt end of a hammer, dripping with blood. Beating us to the ground, moaning with joy. You hounds get so thorough when a company-trained killer dies. I haven't seen you on this coast for 40 years. You know, maybe I should have killed one sooner. Got your attention. Now you stop eating druggies and prostitutes in your basement. Now you come to investigate. Not when they die by the hundreds.
This is it. Shot him. Shot him. Say shot him, not killed him.
Oh, the inhumanity. One paramilitary less in Revachol.
The lieutenant raises his right arm to hush you, while the lieutenant listens, holding his breath.
I had them in my sights. Both of them. Him and the whore. I was breathing with them, in phase, and I pulled the trigger and flew on the air until I landed in his mouth. I didn't think I had a shot like that in me anymore. I did. I saw him kneel there with his mouth full of death, and that stupid look on his face. And his dick still in her. Nothing. I went to sleep. Next morning there were Maybells everywhere. The world was white, or what's left of it anyway. My last spring here. I knew the fascists would come to avenge their own, and so they did.
Mr. Dross, are you aware you're confessing to murder?
Yes.
There we go. What's that?
And you were looking at them, the victim and a young woman, having sex, through the scope of your rifle that night, before you shot him?
The old man nods.
Why?
Because that's what they were doing.
The motive. This is where the motive is going to come from. You can coax it out of him. The lieutenant's preparing the ground.
I don't understand. Do you, detective? I don't understand this part.
I'm infatuated with the Class A movie.
I'm always looking.
Are you always looking through the scope of a rifle? I'm just trying to understand.
A rifle scope has the best magnification.
And if you don't like it?
Click.
Yes. Think of it as a form of critique.
You got him going. Connect every little piece now. Wrap this up like a gift. Start with when he first saw him. It will give him a chance to ramble.
3 weeks ago, when the rich hag came in on her galley. Her honor guard came in tow.
Joyce. He means Joyce.
Wrinkled up whore. Yes, old-fashioned. They moved into a deserted apartment above the roundabout. Radio equipment out for all to see. Reactionary radio playing, sloppy and drunk. I've seen their kind during the landing. Those Occidental and Mesk phalangs weren't conscripts. Boys like us. They were whites. All they know is to destroy and hurt. Barely alive. They like to kill while they're on their drugs. After the landing, in the burning years, I would take shots at them. End them. The worst ones, if I had a bullet to spare. I could see they've returned now to show their real face. The face they don't dare show their bourgeois voters back on Mundi with their families and polyester clothes. Them fucking I didn't like that. Jealousy is a reactionary concept. I didn't like the Reaver enjoying himself, drugged out, soothed in the arms of a young woman. I wanted him to die so he could not enjoy life anymore. And I wanted to see his head explode. That too. She should know better than to hold a child murderer between her thighs. I knew he'd be there for one more second, writhing. That's all it takes for the bullet to reach his head. Now that I think of it, I wasn't aiming for his mouth. I wanted his brains to spill out on her. But you can't have everything.
He wants to see her covered in blood.
Super.
To punish her.
You can't have everything.
Since she came to Martinez, I saw her sneaking in the reeds early in the morning, behind the Fell building. It was dark, still winter. She didn't have her skimpy outfit on then, just a spot in the night, moving.
Past the Fell building on a ghost? What was she doing there?
Hiding something in the water. She had a fag after she'd done it. I was up in the ruins there. She couldn't see me, but I could see her, smoking. She was nervous, but not scared. Her passport and tickets to Villiers. And from there to Cachet Brut.
In the free state of Seminine, hidden away at the edge of the earth, near the Pale.
After she was gone.
Did you keep what was in it? When we found the submersible, it was empty.
No. Why would I do that? I didn't need tickets to Villiers. I'd put them back. If I wanted to extort someone, I'd do better.
This implies that he's thought about extorting her. Also, a little inconsistency here. He was surprised to hear her name Clausia before. Would he not have seen it on the documents?
Why would I need that trash? I'm not going to Villiers.
There it is again. The strange neurological state he's sometimes in.
You didn't say Clausia in there. It was something. I don't remember. It was dark that morning. I only remember her face on the photo. I did. She had a face like an archipelago, with those birthmarks, and a body hard and lean and bruised all over, black and yellow. I could see she's taken a beating. I could see who she was, too. A spook, on the run. Revershal's the cloaca of capital now. All the bagmen and arms dealers end up here to do drugs.
Is the assassin
have
or
sex
thief
like
subclass
animals.
better for rogue?
Probably assassin.
Probably assassin.
You could tell she was a spook?
Extra bonus
documents?
action though.
Depends what you want to be doing with the character, really.
She had different color hair
It's
on
like
the photo.
good against
glasses.
people on the first
Forged.
turn, but like that's kind of
Some
it.
sordid bourgeois affair. I've heard about this kind of thing on
First
the radio.
turn strong, you can take someone out before they can even attack you.
He's setting it up for you.
I'm not blind, am I?
He's been peeping on her.
It quickly comes to you.
Oh, yes. Cutting those drugs of hers into little lines with a knife. Masturbating
Did you make that hole?
with a clip point knife.
Good for listening in, too. For hearing the moaning and the snorts.
Like that, too? Yes. Bending like a bow against the glass. I've been through all of Martinez. Every nook and cranny. Yes, that too. The things they did in that little room. What she'd do to feel good. Funny the way light works. You turn it on inside, and it gets so dark out, you can't see a man looking in. I learned that in the 20s, when they were still hunting me. I've seen people do some shit, but...
Those two took the cake.
Oh
You
god,
hear
I hate
the
this
familiar
place of
scribble
beasts.
of the lieutenant's pen. A quick
They are
glance
not
at you.
How
pog.
did you get in there? The hidden pinball workshop.
I can just walk in there now after a good wash. I told you, they think I'm an antisocial. Closing hours,
You had to open the steel door in the kitchen.
I got that open a long time ago. Some bourgeois game merchant lived there. I don't know, 15 years ago. He left spare keys all over, and I took one. Then I saw her turn the light on one night in my scope.
Andy found use for it. A spare key, like the one hanging behind the Union Box window.
She practically breastfed that man. You wouldn't believe the things she let him do to her.
The old man raises his gaze. Something glimmers in the corner of his black eye.
There's nothing to hold on to. Only this. It's not enough.
The coals of his eyes glisten suddenly, like stones dripping.
Man needs to feel something else. In this fight, it helps if you have your eye on something there. It's weakness, I know. Yes, over the years. It's not unproletarian to feel something. No. I don't really know. I was there one night and she was crying, like a child, in the corner of her room on the floor, like she does sometimes, the day after I killed him. Yes, I don't know why I do the things I do anymore. Maybe, I told you, I have holes in my brain now. I wouldn't just sit here waiting for you. If you came 10 years ago, I would have killed you.
In the silence, the lieutenant draws a line in his notes, then nods at you once more.
Her.
You hear a low frequency hiss, barely, beneath the audible spectrum. Then it's gone. The lieutenant nods at you in acknowledgement.
Where is she, that Clasier? I haven't seen her there for days. Gone. I knew it. She kept staring into the scope this last week at the island, like she knew. She'd look at night, crying or smoking on the roof, staring right into me. It doesn't matter.
He knew she knows. She was looking at the island, figuring it out, day by day, cigarette by cigarette.
We could get more. We've got him talking.
Who knows what he's seen and done over the years? You could get more out of him. He likes talking.
A tragic Druggies, prostitutes, and rentiers.
A strange little engine seems to fire up in him again. It straightens his back.
Specifically, the whole city is a charnel house, stripped clean and draped in neon. But Martinez is the worst. Because of the racists. Everyone is a racist in Martinez. It's their favorite thing to do in the whole world. Listening to race-themed radio shows. In the ruins, pumped full of steroids and Radio Revachol 92. Race this, race that. It's all sanctioned by that Social Democratic Union and the farce of a Social Democrat who runs it. Yes, the fly larva in his container. He let some nihilistic advertising yuppies erect a statue of Philippe III, a syphilitic murderer, on the town square, to spit on the working class. Not since the serfs of ancient Pericarnassus has history produced a more inert social class than the Martinez proletariat. The rest of Revachol at least pretends to rebuild. These people still live in ruins. In tents, like animals. Like those boom-boom morons on the ice. A pity they didn't drown in that tent of theirs. The worst of them is the blood-drenched Sucrion on her yacht, licking her lips. The old whore's gone now. Her gun-toting porcelain men are dead. So, actually, no. The worst is that old cop parading around in his uniform, throwing balls all day. It's not enough that the racists and liberals are dancing on our graves. The old loyalist ghouls still parade the ruins too. Every morning he's there. While the parasites he fought to protect are off in Ozon, or Koyamoran, or some other island they built their palaces on, feeding on drugs and having sex with their own children. That's all the rich really want. Sex with their own children. Throughout history, even the royal bloodline of the suzerain, it's all just an excuse for them to have sordid sex. At least that old cunt Frisell is now dead. We did good when we pushed him under the horse car, until, in the 30s, those disco whores.
The disco whores are too much. Hatred shuts down his brain's language center, leaving boom boom morons on thin ice. Going under. Those are the tent kids.
Whores. Another hideous disappointment. Unions are the real enemy. The true enemy of the proletariat. Placating the masses.
Disappointment. So personal. He displays a familiarity with the union's top brass.
That deformed toad? I wouldn't expect him to wipe his own ass. I mean, the brains of the operation. The smart one.
Edgar.
He talks a big game about uprising and social base. They must have sent the smart one to some university in Le Jardin, where it's alienation this and hegemony that.
He's been sweet-talked by this Edgar. They must have met in person for such animosity to have developed.
You can't live alone.
The Clares wouldn't miss a man hidden in their own backyard. Not all this time. Nothing happens in Martinez without them knowing.
Of course. Maybe the clears. Don't go straight for the kill. Exhaust everything else first. Soften him up.
I haven't approached anyone. I hid. It was Edgar who came to me.
How did he know you were here?
He didn't just stumble in like an oaf. He figured it out. Some kids told him about a monster on the island. I told you, he has brains. Stepped right off the boat and walked down where you came. I even kept the door open for him. Thought he was a man of the left. Wouldn't rat me out. I was right about one of those things. 20 years ago, neither of them could walk now, could they? They were less fat then.
That's around the time the Clares came to power.
Did they use him to assassinate their political enemies?
Edgar did the talking. Paid his respects like I were a fossil in a uniform. Offered platitudes about the struggle. Flaunted his pink degree. Even quoted Marzov. Never trust a social democrat who quotes Marzov. Oh, and charity too. They love their charity. Offered me blankets and social housing. I still have the gas cooker he brought. Let me be here. The ZOC is an unlawful successor of the Commune of Revachol. We took this fortification from the Loyalists. Even the Clares understand this.
They let him be here. Understanding was a courtesy. But why such a courtesy?
You know why I killed that fucker, Duat. As to Edgar, I'm not doing anything for that swine again.
Again? What have you done for Edgar before?
Tried teaching him some Marzovian socioeconomics. They didn't stick. We parted ways.
Okay, he
Maybe
didn't
not.
do the hanged man for them. But he's insinuating something. There is more here. You can feel it. He was not outright lying, but almost.
They were boom imbeciles. At least they're not there anymore. What more is there to say? They're duped by bourgeois culture. I've seen that kind pop up, like worms after the rain.
What more is there to say? You've always got something to say.
I don't think now is the time for this, officer.
To no avail.
I saw you. Serves that pigsty right to have them in there. Ghoulish sarcophagus. The ecclesiastes are all pedophiles.
This guy's just the manifestation of hatred. He just fucking hates everyone. Like, holy shit. Jesus Christ, he's like every ism rolled into one. I think the only thing he's not said, the only might have said something vaguely racist. I don't remember, but fucking hell.
Every fucking morning for 34 years. Throwing that ball. One ball against the other. I've always loathed. Royalist ghouls played like it was life itself. Click, clack across the water each day. And that uniform, like a parrot plumage. I won't even mention that he's a traitor to his race. A Patank maniac race traitor.
Okay, yeah, there we go.
I remember him. I remember him from La Noce. Not him, personally. His make and model. There were tens of thousands of them. I thought we took them all out before the liberals came to their rescue. We missed one. That one.
There doesn't seem to be a single person under the pine today. Not even Gaston. Alone.
Fat and plump. Like a pheasant. Just begging to be popped off. Please, Mr. Truss, shoot me. Not yet. I like to look at him strut around, place the crosshair on his medals, right on his face, and just fiddle the trigger. Think about it. Let the bonbon melt in my mouth.
Save the treat for later.
He is a juicy bonbon, that one. A real treat for the black day. The blackest. When I put that gun in my own mouth, I think, no, don't waste it. Put this lead in that cock, René. For the boys he killed. And then I look at him throw those balls, and I suddenly feel better. I even hid one bullet, so I'd always have one for him. Haven't seen him around lately, strutting around. Must be down with arthritis. I hope it hurts like hell. I hope he sweats blood.
Hearing it may destabilize him. You sure you've gotten everything from him?
No. I waited too long. I waited too long, and now he's dead?
I'm sorry, Mr. Druss. I understand you knew him for a long time.
They're all dead now.
If he really wanted to kill him so bad, he would have done. There must have been 1,000 black days on these islands. His health ailing.
And I blew them all. What does it matter now? He's gone. Ancient dust. All human beings care about each other. I cared for seeing his head explode. Now, God damn this world. You think I haven't seen people die? It's all I've seen them do. Fuck and die. All the other plans we had. To love. To colonize the Pale. It's all fucked.
It doesn't look like he is. Okay. The connection comes to you like a splash of cold water. Dark, cold water.
Hey.
He acknowledges it. Here we go. A twist.
That bourgeois cow. Tiffin Holly was her name. Licked the rich man's hand every time he came to town. Never seen a labor leader so hot on mutual cooperation. And money. She liked that too. That Holly was a real bridge builder and a deal maker. She was. And she was real soft on those money men. Had a Barbara Muscova bag over her shoulder that she liked to bring to work.
I'm starting to think this guy's just a raging misogynist, like...
Called in, they say. On the eve of
Bruh.
battle. Ran away. Vanished like a piss stain.
No, that's not quite it, is it?
Did she? They say her daughter called in, not her personally. But that wasn't
No, I guess it was not. She couldn't make the call herself.
Here it is. The bend in.
Because she was dead.
Just say nothing.
The cow caught a bullet in her right lung. Fell into the canal grasping her tit and drowned. Or bled. Hard to say. It was a sloppy job. And a moving target. She was going home. Waddling. Dressed in yellow. Drunk like she often was. The ruins were black around her. But she had a yellow leather bag under her arm. She tried to cross the canal. Heading home to Grand Couronne or Betancourt. Someplace like that. Where they build those new bâtiments for the people who flourish in the hell around her. And the ruins. Someone shot her. Or maybe the cow just fell. My memory is full of holes. Nothing changed. Not in the material base, not in the hegemony. There was no uprising. Just words. The Union fizzled, sogged. Nothing came of it. Nothing.
Edgar didn't keep his part of the deal. If you were to testify to this, give the RCM something on Edgar, you could walk. We would strike everything you've done and process you as a POW. You were in a war. You were on assignment. We could even extradite you to the Samaran People's Republic.
A degenerate worker state. Goat shit. No, thank you. I'm Revacholian. My days are short. I will rot away here, in a moral intern cell. I will not testify to anything.
Come on, just a little. You're buddies.
I haven't lived and fought for 40 years to end up as a collaborationist. I've heard it. Everyone is a blobber in this world. Everyone betrays everyone. They're all already locked up for betrayal. The best ones, the ones with heart, were slaughtered, trampled. Glad we talked about what?
His lip curls into a sneer at the memory.
I don't want to talk about goddamn social democrats. Traitors is all they are. Brain dead. I don't want to talk about goddamn... They were boom, boom.
What more is there to say?
I've heard it on the radio. Glad we talked about what? What? But you said I would be taken to the...
Your Wayfarer rights have been suspended. Information provided to the officers on the scene will be used against you by the prosecution. You will be given legal counsel within 1 week and must face court in 44 days. Do you understand?
But... No, I don't want to. I have to stay here.
He's sweating. Beads are forming on his forehead.
Your confirmation is not required, sir. Now on to the boat.
There it is again. To your north, as it has been since you came to the coast. The reeds whisper. Something completely different. It sounds like a bow, very slowly being drawn against the strings of a violin. A very small violin.
Maybe there is room for 3 on the boat. What?
What are you talking about? Is this... really us?
Your skin crawls.
Oh, fuck.
No fucking way. It's fucking real.
Fucking is, pal.
It's fucking real!
A tangle of arms
What's
and
real?
legs unfolds.
The
reeds
fucking
limb
cryptid!
by limb, to then just stand there, moving its scythe-like arms in ghostly silence.
Okay,
It's still
cryptid
there.
is real.
An unfolding mechanism
Look at it.
of reed-like chitin, hovering in place.
What are you talking about?
Come on.
There's nothing there.
The stick insect is over 3 meters tall. It looks straight at you with its tiny pinprick eyes and its grotesque...
You never know what's gonna
snowy
happen
head.
in this fucking game. You never know. You never know.
You feel your legs shake
Yeah,
under
it's
you
just...
and your gun hand rise instinctively.
Tell me what you see, damn it. I can't...
I can see it.
4 simple words, thank God. If he can see, but that means it's really there, spinning slowly, in absolute silence. Its limbs long and slender.
Be very, very careful.
There it is, see? Oh. Oh my god.
So,
There it is, see?
significance of it.
One of the plot lines is some cryptid hunters have been looking for this thing their whole fucking lives and they like gave up on it.
White and curled at the tips. It is no
So it's
more
not
than
like a
5
voice in your head or
steps away
anything.
from
No.
you. The segmented
I
antennae
mean, if the
move
tie
with
turned out to be
apprehension,
real, that'd be fucked up.
searching for something.
Or your liver.
You
tie
take
is real.
long, deep breaths. Slow down your pulse.
Harry just straight up has supernatural powers. Like, there's no other explanation.
As a feather.
Pretty sure
Tie
his
is real,
brain's
and
been
I
like
blew some fuckers up with it.
over radiated with the pale bullshit that happens. I don't know.
Reed-like tufts stick out of its joints. As the insect moves its forearms, it produces a faint
Got bitten by a
hiss,
radioactive
like a
drug addict.
reel-to-reel machine spinning after the tape breaks.
Got bitten by a radioactive drug addicted spider.
The hiss is different from the strings you heard before. It says something else in a lower pitch.
It is.
You glance over your shoulder. The lieutenant holds a piece of meat. No,
It's the camera.
the flash will scare the creature off. Warn him now.
We need a photo. No one will believe us.
From the corner of your eye, you see a sudden cascade of motion ripple through the
I won't be one of those fools who didn't take a picture.
You see the phasmid turn to him, its mandible antennae reaching out. Its motions are quick, sudden.
I don't think the pheromone will do anything.
The spindly mechanism turns itself back to you, its antennae taking their measure of the air, slowly.
Yeah, approach it.
Slowly, with your breath held, you take 2 small steps toward the phasmid. The creature lets out
Like,
a series
skill
of
you
ultrasonic
needed to do
clicks
that was the
that
one which
swarm
makes you
around
high
your
on
head
drugs.
like swallows. Hissing and clicking, it extends its mandible-like antennae to greet you. You're right below it now, looking up at the colossal chitin of its white limbs. The head of the creature is crowned by reeds, and its eyes are like small droplets of water. No reply. A total ancient silence comes from its mouth. Along with, you were right, little bubbles form on the mouth parts of the creature, on its segmented lower lip. It looks to be foaming, slowly, the faintest smell like you've never felt before, like burnt roses.
Careful. It may be poisonous.
The foam slowly turns a darker shade, like burnt caramel, as the insect moves its mouth parts, masticating, letting out that same smell, like summer burning. Nothing.
Oh,
Its simple eyes give off no flicker of light.
That's
No
fucked
one
up.
is home. The twitches of its limbs are insect-like. Unknown. It's spread too thin among its limbs, performing incomprehensible operations on the wall. Suddenly, another flash of pain, worse than the one before.
Thing is,
The
how do you
taste of
unlock
blood
that?
in
Because
your
it's not like you can come back.
The insect tastes it too. Twitching
might be like
suddenly.
disengage
Yeah, no,
slowly.
dialogue.
Leave.
If you get another +1 from
I mean, I can.
like further in the,
The
another
vampire. I mean, I
conversation
can just
through.
do this.
Bro, do it.
Yeah, I definitely fucking will because I've got the fucking points. Oh, I
They're
can't.
not
Shit.
just gonna let you. Just do
As
something
you
else,
leave.
like,
back off, the
first.
phasmid also takes a step back into the reeds. Something tells you the arthropod follows you with its.
Oh, I can do it. I can do it. I can fucking do this. I need to know. I need to know the secrets of the Insulinium phasmid, bro.
Hissing and clicking, the arthropod extends its mandible-like antennae
Why didn't
to
you get
greet
another
you
crit fail?
again.
That'd be so fucked up.
You're right below it, looking up at the colossal chitin of its white limbs. Its small eyes.
I exist.
It's speaking to me.
Tell me what it's like for you. Then I will tell you what it's like for me. Fire? Where?
It's going down.
That is your problem. Nothing ever ends for me. There is only room for 2, maybe 3 pictures in my mind. For me, it is a series of half-lit images, a kind of darkness being intruded upon, transient, dim, moist. Shapes of plants and animals, and internal sensations. A swarm of sounds, tiny vibrations on the inside of my forearms. All speak of complexities totally beyond my understanding. I am at the end of a narrow funnel, weightless, so light, it only feels like something to be me. In truth, perhaps I'm nothing. I certainly do not have a soul, and if I did, it would never burn.
Okay.
Thank you for your input, Insulin Indian Phasmid. What the fuck is happening to me right now?
What the fuck? I don't think I passed this roll.
Few of us can begin
You
to
got your
imagine
boulder
a
going where
hollow
no man's
thing,
got before.
with all of creation reflected
I
in
definitely
the
saw
foreground.
this thing. I mean, you have to, I
It
guess,
must
because it
be
just
like
kind of
the
comes
highest of hells,
comes out of nowhere. But
kaleidoscope of
I
fire
don't think
and
I
vital
spoke to it.
Eternal damnation, even when you're sleeping, and when you wake, you carry it around on your neck, with eyes open that cannot help but swallow more behind the mirror. I feel great, mute empathy for you. That must be incredibly hard. The Arthropods are in silent and meaningless awe of you. Know that we're watching. When you're tired, when the vision spins out of control, the insects will be looking on, rooting for you.
Thanks, guys.
And when you fall, we will come to raise you up. Bud from you, banner-like, blossom from you and carry you apart in a sky funeral, in honor of your passing. But not me, because I'm just a leaf eater.
Okay.
Detective.
So am I. I was born to detect sucrose rewards and semiochemicals. What were you born to detect? He's in a bad state, deteriorating fast now. He thinks I am beneficial to him, but I am not. I only quicken his deterioration, very slowly, and only because he won't go away. It is meant to keep them from noticing me, to interfere with the pictures in their heads. But he has looked at me for too long, and I am destroying
Ugh.
him.
Wow. Okay.
Because it has that thing where it like stops people being able to see it, doesn't it? Like to your brain. But the Creature Hunters are saying. So
Yeah.
so it does.
He's just stubbornly refusing to leave, so he's
You're awake.
it's just perishing.
I am real. Light is forming me. This is real. Not even the birds know that. Not even the water lily. You can also eat it. If it's a leaf, you can put it in your mouth. Yum yum. Or read.
Wait, so
Yes, they don't mind. Yes, I once cloned myself and ate the little ones. It was winter, and I woke up at the wrong time. It was an accident.
I was like, oh my god, all this guy's theories were correct. They do fucking breed asexually. What the fuck? Holy shit. What a fucking guy.
How did you know these?
Complete guess. Complete guess and he was right. Holy shit.
He's a Sigma male.
He's just a, he is a Sigma fucking
operating-
male,
He's
dude.
operating on an even higher level than Harry.
I am an unknown species
For
of
real.
the order Phantasmadia, endemic to the Insulandian Insula. For the last 350 years, I have hidden in plain sight, masquerading as the reeds, molding, cloning myself, unfolding at night to play with trash bins and boys. No one unnoticed by the first settlers and the land surveyors of the suzerain. Also, by the soldiers of the revolution and the officials of the occupation. Even the Seminese islanders who came here first, but did not stay, have not seen me. I have stayed hidden through 4 forms of government and 2 scientific revolutions, until I was accidentally discovered by a detective of the citizen militia in Rebelshaw, district of Martinez, March 51. No. You are the miracle. The moral of our encounter is, I am a relatively medium life form, while you are extreme, all-engulfing madness. A volatile
Oh, no, I'm
senior
getting
nervous
PTSD from
system,
Divinity.
ominously
Oh, fuck no.
linked to the planet. The Pale too came with you. No one remembers it before you. The Nidarians do not. The radially symmetrics do not. There is an almost unanimous agreement between the birds and the plants that you are going to destroy us all. It is a nervous shadow cast into the world by you, eating away at reality. A great, unnatural territory. Its advent coincides with the arrival of the human mind.
Oh, I don't like the implications of that.
You're a violent and irrepressible miracle. The vacuum of cosmos and the stars burning in it are afraid of you. Give me enough time, you will wipe us all out and replace us with nothing. Just by accident. We suspect it will be something like the oxygen holocaust that wiped out anaerobic life 2.6 billion years ago, when organisms first started breathing. Only much worse.
Instead of air, you exhale thoughts. There are no trees that eat thoughts.
Everything your eyes touch goes back there, behind the nose mirror. What if you blink? Are we still here? Please don't blink. What if you misplace us all one day, or just forget? No, you're only thinking it now. This is a revelation. So it is already happening. Soon, one of you will close your eyes and open them to see that none of this ever existed.
It doesn't look like that, no. You're just staring at it. Okay. Is it somehow related to the case? I think we should take the picture, and then you should back away from the unstudied species.
No, there is one more. Thank you. I also have one more thing to say to you before you go. That woman, turn from the ruin. Turn and go forward. For freedom. She was hell on earth. It doesn't take a 3 meter stick insect to tell you that.
Getting fucking relationship advice from a fucking cryptid, bro. That's
Bro. That is fucked up.
The insect stops its stridulation, seeming to observe. Suddenly, there is silence. As you do, the invertebrate comes to life, its limbs moving into praying to you. reed creature does not stop its stridulations. It towers above you, parting the reed.
Okay.
There is no change in the insect's motion while it's being...
In 3. If it moves, you jump back. I'll shoot.
The shrill flash of the camera cuts the air like the blade.
Oh,
of
that's a
sword.
fucking cool
The
photo.
phasmid freezes in its bright light. Head turned toward the lieutenant, hypnotized by the flash. It stands frozen before you.
I got it.
The antennae hang from a great height. With your hand shaking, you barely touch the tip of the left whisker. On contact, the kiting curls into a spiral, like the tip of a poison ivy. It is surprisingly delicate, the curly end of the whisker, like a young vine. It's even a bit wet.
Be careful, detective. It's moving.
You were right. It glistens with some kind of moisture. The creature in front of you stays frozen.
Fuck it!
Tastes like sugar, very faint. The anthropod towers above you, tufts of reeds pointed from limb and head alike. Odorless, mostly comprised of water. The limb before you is incredibly light, like eggshell. It's much lighter than a reed. You feel a soft push could tip the creature over. Its hollow exoskeleton collapsing. Warning! A small shudder passes the creature's arm. High above you, its black pearl eyes still glisten, mesmerized by the light passing its nervous system. Another shudder pulses through the creature's limbs. It jolts back to life, like a record continuing where it left off, in a swaying, praying motion. Even as you're turning away, the phasmid mirrors your movements, stepping on the water, the long limbs carrying its feather weight without breaking its surface. And just like that, it's gone, skating away, and something under it. In the place it stood, bobbing there, among the reeds, a collection of items.
Oh, her
It's gone.
fucking. Let's say his stuff.
Apparently, yes. Like a water strider. Only... I've never seen anything like that in my life. Looks like a nest of some sort. We should have a look.
Maybe not.
What now?
Our suspect is not looking so good.
Oh, yo! Helmet.
This passport, issued by the Sovereign Republic of Oranje, is issued to a black-haired woman called Katarzyna Alazie.
Classia's hidden documents. From the MT boy.
It's Klasia, with short black hair and glasses. She looks boyish, younger somehow.
Maybe our man, Mr. Dross, took it from Classia's, or whatever her name was. Hiding place, or... Like a magpie? What a coincidence. Then it would also have collected the other objects, which would be highly unusual.
By now, the lieutenant has accepted your unusual methods.
I can see how the helmet could wash up on the island. And the scope. Maybe Mr. Dross lost it. But to seek this out would be very unusual behavior for an arthropod.
Yeah, so is talking, Kim. So is fucking talking.
She said it would be for Anouk Meyer-Smith. Anouk Meyer...
Katarzyna Alazia was supposed to be her real name, where Klasia comes from. Remember? A told you she kept lying to you. She's probably lying to someone else right now, in another city.
Yes, somehow she managed to lie to us one more time. In a way, she's still lying to us right now. I don't know, but it's not Katarzyna Alasia or Klasia or Anouk Meyer-Smith. We didn't even scratch the surface with her, detective. Perhaps it's better that we didn't arrest her. Who knows what hell she'd be raising in my district by now.
Enough.
What is it? What do you...
Something is very wrong with him now.
See?
Mr. Doras?
The man does not respond. He keeps staring, black eyes glazed over and bulging from their sockets. A light shiver passes him.
He's going into some kind of psychomotor immobility. The good news is, this solves our transportation.
The trembling mouth appears to sigh.
Between this and the broken tire he's used for a boat, I think it's safe to leave him here, while we go and get help. It will need to be medical first, I'm afraid. Old age and shock. Yes, the arrest and the appearance of the phasmid, the combined stress. But you think it's something more than that?
There's much more. Remember, quite a few things about that health check you did on him make sense now.
That could be part of the shock. But you're right,
No response.
The...
You should be more careful, detective. Are you sure it wasn't having an effect on you? A valid hunch. Long-term exposure to something like that could be neurodegenerative. Also, please be careful when approaching unknown species in the future, detective. He was energetic and articulate. After all these years alone, with little hygiene or medication, I would expect worse. It does not seem to be animated now it's left. Honestly, I'm ready to believe anything at this point. Maybe it is psychoactive. I mean, why not? It's 3 meters tall. You mean pheromonum? The scope, knowing of her bruises, his disposition toward Miss Orania? I see what you mean. He did seem distressed when it finally came to arresting him, like he didn't want to leave this place, and the insect maybe. I have absolutely forgotten to take notes. I hope I remember all of this. This will be one hell of a report. Thank God we have the photo.
No one would believe you without it. He stares into the reeds. Your words don't stir nothing.
If Kuno kicked it into the sea, as he said he did, the ebb would put it back here. This makes sense. Mr. Dross could have picked it up. Or the phasmid even. If it did, this is incredible.
No reaction. This is an old man, at last. No longer a tin soldier.
Did you take this passport and other papers?
The spirit.
He hears us.
No reply.
Try something else? We got him back for a moment.
I lost.
He turns his eyes to the reeds again.
He lost the scope. Then it somehow made its way over there. With the help of a magpie phasmid? This sight is a T9, Mr. Dross. Was it attached to the rifle?
Silence. Not even a sigh. The plastic cape flaps around his face in a gust of wind. The blacks of his eyes are receding. His pupils are returning to normal.
We should think about getting back to the mainland. To get help. He'll be safe here. If we don't take too long.
All right. That was Jesus.
I feel like you literally just like read a book's worth of like information off that guy and that surrounding situation.
Well, it took about an hour and a half.
The skiff is swaying on the...
Let's. We are done here.
The skiff rocks gently under your weight as you get in. The ride back is uneventful and quiet. But for the sound of conversation on the water, there is someone inland waiting for you. You reach the jetty and climb out of the skiff.
Look what the tide brought him.
Ah, fuck.
What is that? Phone AC? What's with all the performance gear? Are you back in high school?
Whatever this is, it is completely unimportant compared to what you've just seen.
Bothered by it? Harry, you're a goddamn cop. They're afraid of you. Actually, are you?
Oh boy,
Are
the
you still a
tribunal.
cop? There's so much disco going on, it's hard to tell.
Vic, calm down.
Hello, Trent Heilerstein. I believe we've met on several occasions.
We have.
I'm your goddamn partner, Jean-Vic Comar, and this is your special task force. Or what's left of it. Special Consultant Trent Heilerstam, Battle Officer Judith Minot.
Hi.
We've come to scrape what's left of you after pavement.
Lieutenant Kim Kisuragi, Prison 57. We've just come from the island.
The scene is making even him feel as though he has to justify your actions.
We might
Can
need
you wear
your
the
help
rubber
with
gloves?
something later.
Yep.
As if he recalled that he's in fact a decorated police lieutenant and not a naughty boy.
But this is clearly a departmental matter, so I'm going to leave you to discuss it among yourselves.
It's good to meet you, Lieutenant Kitsuhagi.
Letting the lieutenant know he shouldn't feel embarrassed over the shitstorm that's about to befall you.
We're not forgetting about anything. Look at you.
Ari, we want to help you. Trent, I believe this is where you come in?
This is the horse-faced woman. I don't know why you named her that, but it was beyond idiotic. You shouldn't.
I
just
don't
got called a
quite
monkey
know
arsehole.
what I'm doing here.
The fuck
I was
does that
asked
mean?
to participate as an expert. I think I need to manage your expectations a little. I'm at best an enthusiast in cognitive science. My background is in something else entirely. I engage in neurology on a merely theoretical level. In fact, I should probably get going.
No, Trent, it's too late. You're part of this shit now. What have you got to say for yourself, shit kid? The cafeteria manager you fucked over told us where you went.
Did you hook him up with Sylvie?
No.
Did you fuck him
No,
up?
well, I talked to him about the cock carousel, and
Ah,
And
I didn't do that in
people on
my
the street helped us too,
first run.
with your
I found out that
whereabouts.
they both like each other and didn't realize it, and I told them both.
okay. I did try the love quest, but I just fucked up the role, so I started talking about a cock carousel. I was like, what the fuck? It's fucked up,
What
right?
comes back to the court carousel?
That sounds like superstar behavior, actually.
You're a legend among
True.
the drunks, Harry.
It is super slow.
A legendary local drunk.
You want the man with the sunglasses? Oh. Uh,
Guilty as charged. I heard you'd lost your mind and your memory. I wanted to, and it was. Good work, Harry. You're insane now. There's one less person for me and everyone else to rely on.
He was too sarcastic for you to realize realize who he was.
I'm clinically depressed, Harry. Sorry if I wasn't in the mood to butter you up after you told us to fuck off. Did you? Or did you literally not recognize my face? We've been partners for how long, Harry? Don't answer that. You don't remember.
He's right. Don't start guessing. Now's not a good time.
It's okay. I didn't come here to gloat or to fool you. Neither did he, actually. We're just
Music is extremely intense, so some people are
That's
just
right.
worried.
Worried. I'm always worried about you. Every time you don't show up to work, or when you do about stink, you're a worry fest. She's worried about you. I'm worried about you. Even Special Consultant Backpedal is worried about you. Everyone worries instead of working.
He's got a very, very solid case there. Actually, I've been trying to find a good moment to tell you. Yes, you often sound like a brutal idiot.
Thanks, Rhetoric. Very cool.
Yes, I'm Trond Heilerstein. I never said I wasn't Trond Heilerstein. Again, I was asked to share my take on some of the more fringe academic theories developed in Königstein in the 30s. For example, partial psychotraumatic amnesia, group personality theory.
He's here to see if you're insane. He's smart. Let's move on. Yeah, Major Crimes Unit, under Lieutenant Dubois and Vicomar. Ring any bells? Refresh your memory? It's a goddamn Major Crimes Unit. There's you, me, Jude, Trond fucking Heidelstein, and Guillaume Baby.
I'm technically just a civilian advisor.
Oh, fuck you. You're part of this shit show. Oh, that's an interesting story, actually. Guillaume Bevy is a police reporter who joined our team. He was really good. Then he left because he lost faith in your ability to lead the unit. Other people have left too. Good, smart people. People we won't get back. Only me and this really patient patrol officer are still here. And Trump because I'm forcing him to stay. It's a Major Crimes Unit. We clear the desk of cases so Precinct 41 doesn't look like the worst station in town. We are shit here now, Harry.
Oh, Metsu, we're shit to you now, Harry, because of you.
41st isn't...
Where have we been? We've been fucking off as far as I remember. You told us to fuck off. You said we're cramping your style. Your detective god. Fuck everything. All we burn. Detect or die. Sure, you're not a superstar law official. Talk on the town is your Guillaume Le Million reincarnate. I know this shit. Nothing has changed. The bells aren't ringing because you have brain damage. Trant, this is where you come in.
Well, he doesn't have visible tremors, he talks without slurring, he can drive a boat, he's standing, reasoning. All good signs, but complete retrograde amnesia, episodic and semantic.
Meaning, you forgot both who you are and the definitions of money, Isola, Pell, and so on.
As displayed in the station call, our
Sure I did.
interactions with him, and I don't want to be a snitch, but also mine with him before when Harry did not seem to know who I was. It's all very interesting.
Interesting?
Yes, interesting. I have my theories, but I would like to hear Harry's thoughts first. Harry, what do you think happened to you? Neurologically, psychologically, and why not socioeconomically?
He is. He's getting better. And I can confirm that he drank a lot of
I believe he drank. People do that, especially this one. What they don't do is forget their
But Detective Vigmer, he has blanked out before. Yes, a couple of times. After some of the more serious benders. One was after the two drunks case. The other...
The two cases in your ledger. The unsolvable case and the next world mute. Those cases were hard on you.
Interesting. So at first he dipped his toes into it, prepared. That's where he would have gotten the idea, yes.
What do you mean?
Well, here's my theory. What if this is an absolutely normal reaction to the world we're living in? What if this is not a significant anomaly at all? Something to be explained, approached as a defect? Look at the sensory input here. Look at the ruins, the neon. Listen to the radio, the multitudes, the people. Live here for 40 years. As a police detective, he's like a magnetic reader on the world tape, to borrow a known metaphor. Harry's been pushed flat against it. Total input. Hardwired to the free market. He just needed for it to end.
Okay, Trent, thank you. That's absolutely meaningless. I'm glad we brought you. Will he or will he not be able to work in the major crimes unit? Is he a cretin now? I want to know that.
He's not a cretin, and he is able to do work. If not in his previous leadership role, then as a line detective.
No one even mentioned that. I misphrased my question. It should have been, is he able to put his clothes on and use the body? Or do we need to get him on a disability pension? Now nothing. Now we're just going to stand here. No, now we discuss that. What the fuck did you do to a motor carriage? Why is it there, Harry?
I thought the killer would be underwater. He wasn't.
Time would come to kill the sunset.
Ah, so refreshing. He just admits it. Thank you for your honesty. Thank you for the... It doesn't matter. Your badge, Harry. Show me your badge.
In a rush to demonstrate your badge, your eager fingers can't sustain a grip on the smooth plastic, and the badge slips out. Not today, badge.
And your gun?
As if having your badge and gun are natural states, not achievements.
He has it. And he didn't drop it. You're drunk like a bum, Harry. Put that thing away before you kill someone. So you forgot to drink? I don't buy it. Why do you smell like a corpse then?
He's wounded. It's been a long week, and he's handled an actual corpse.
A bit of a week? You're drunk, and you let a suspect escape, a certain Clasier, because you were too drunk to assess a flight risk.
We've read the reports, Harry. Lieutenant Kitsohagi's. We know.
Wait, I literally haven't drank any alcohol this whole thing. Motherfuckers.
Yeah, but
Specifically went sober, bro. I went sober, motherfuckers. I fucking fixed it. I ain't been drinking.
Oh, well, if she was specially trained. I'm not even gonna get into the other suspect who also escaped, or the fact that you're Everclear's little peony now, doing I don't know what for him. That's small-time stuff. That's nothing. That's a humorous anecdote. Compared to the 6 people who were gunned down, the streets are literally red with blood, Harry.
He did everything he could. We did everything we could. The company hired unvetted mercenaries. Lieutenant Dubois got between them and the locals. He did so at considerable risk to his person. Remember, he was shot. We stopped an execution, not a negotiation. The loss of life was minimal compared to what it could have been. Detective, it's better if I do that.
It's so much better if he does this.
Thank you for the input, Lieutenant Kitsuragi. I didn't mean to suggest you didn't handle the situation. You've spent the week with him on this case. What is your take?
On the case?
On Lieutenant Geoffrey Dubois.
Well, the drinking, the gun losing, also losing the badge. That's all true. Although he has not been drinking on the job this week.
See?
1 week.
Then there's the superstardom. He likes to, from time to time, allude to being a superstar.
So fucking am Kim.
At first I thought it was a joke, but now I'm not so sure. He says disco about 20 times a day.
Sure.
It's odd, especially in light of his political views. Detective Dubois
This is also true.
you may know, a hustler. He recently commissioned a monument to his own grind in the middle of the roundabout, which is just...
I did do that.
Other still, he is also a Mazovian socio-economist who believes in liquidating the ruling class. How he reconciles these 2 points of view, I do not know, but he is vocal on
I have been known
and
to
then
do that.
there's the motor carriage in
You've
the sea,
achieved synthesis.
something I want to
I have, pal.
But despite all this, he is a great detective. One of the best I have seen, in fact. He can talk human beings into telling him everything. And he doesn't stop. In all the time I've spent with him, he has not
Oh,
once
feels like
stopped
a missing man.
pursuing leads,
Missing
however
out. Been
far-fetched
to every
and
single
tangential.
Riverside
He is
Festival since we
tireless,
met, John.
madly driven. Well,
It's just
except
wrong.
that one time when
Oh,
he
well,
stopped
that's life.
It's
listening
wrong that we're not there
karaoke,
watching the
which,
fireworks.
by the way, I have to disagree with you, Mr. Vicmar, was a valiant effort. He really sang his heart out.
Fucking Kim is giving me a
Okay,
glowing
that's
review
something.
right now.
Other than that one time, he has tirelessly worked on the case, and he solved it. We have a confession, a murder weapon, and the perpetrator. Locked on, he apprehended a revolutionary brigade who stayed hidden for 50 years, ever since the revolution, who's probably committed other murders over those years. Oh, and he also discovered a new species.
A new species?
A colossal stick insect. It was on the island, camouflaged as the reeds. It unfolded from the reeds. I think we may be dealing with the Insulindian phasmid.
He takes out the photo of the phasmid and shows it to the officers across the yard. The wind blows. Flapping. You hear gasps beneath the howling of the wind.
As you can see, it's about 3 meters tall. In fact, we think it may be the largest land invertebrate ever discovered.
Chakalaka.
Fucking hell is that? Is this somehow connected to the...
Detective? The old man was not aware of the phasmid's presence. Exhibiting a strange, atypical dementia, he fell into a stupor after its appearance. He became near catatonic.
So it is connected.
I must say, this is absolutely extraordinary. I don't even have words for it.
Yes, it really does make it hard to fire the drunk.
Now you make your case. Now is the time. Now or never.
Yes. Fallen through a gap in a boardwalk.
The body was transported to Precinct 41, our morgue.
You're not the only cop in the world, Harry.
Still, good work with the missing person, Detective.
Female?
You had to see it. It had the subdued colors of a female. And the nesting behavior too, I think.
Incredible. Were there eggs in the nest?
Not as far as I could see. There were other things there, though.
Actually, you know, this would indicate it was a male. This is far from anything in my field, but I think such nests are called bowers. They are for attracting mates. It must be robust if it can move a helmet with its limbs.
It could maybe roll it, like a dung beetle.
As in cloning itself? What makes you think so? Mm-hmm. Then it wouldn't matter if it's male or female. The bower would just be rudimentary behavior from before the pathogen.
That makes sense.
Very interesting. Such organisms are extremely vulnerable to disease. A single strain of bacteria could wipe out the whole species. We're probably looking at conservation efforts here.
Yes, but also red-colored, beige and brown, a little green on the outside. After unfolding from a single stalk, it still retains parts that look like...
Incredible. The PR value of this is exceptional. Carp discovers new species. Maybe even...
This would really help with some of the...
Absolutely, this is great. This does not say vigilante murderers to me at all. This says science, news, human interest. You know, it's a really good thing you have that photo.
Without it...
You're doing good here. Perhaps only for a moment, but still.
Lilianovich. A revolutionary matronym. The custom started in Grad, where they have patronyms. Krasovich, Lasovich, etc. The revolutionaries saw this as a chauvinist atavism, so they used matronyms, derived from the mother's name instead. This man's mother was Lily. His Lilian's son, Lilianovich. The custom was overturned after the revolution failed, but not before...
So, it is what a soldier of the ICM would be called.
Thank you, Trant. Thank you for that piece of cultural theory. You said you...
Of course, excuse me, I just thought it was noteworthy.
Jealousy. I thought this Lilianovich was an old man.
A strange psychosexual fixation, aggravated possibly by proximity to the phasmid and its chemicals. He himself gave... Also, we have ballistics from the gun, matching the bullet found in the dead murder.
It's a clean win.
Get over yourself. You're not a perfectionist. You're a cop and you did a good job. And none of this can hide the smell of booze on the wind.
God damn it. Doesn't it ever leave? It is there. Like in your bones or something. It will pass. In time.
This is a conversation for when we are no longer out in the open. In Martinez, where Evrard
and eyes too. Your return from the...
Understood, of course.
I would prefer not to partake in anything union-related, for political neutrality.
I don't know what a Doom commercial area is. Why? That's not what...
There was a possible witness in there, and it was close to the crime scene. He was just chasing a lead and ended up advising a local shopkeeper.
Of course. Call it community out.
Dodged the bullet there. For a moment it seemed like you were just wasting time.
Who's Kuno?
You don't want to know.
You're right, Lieutenant. I don't. You snorted the drugs, I know you did. It's alright. I mean, at this point, anything is but the drink.
I didn't, but okay. Should tell them that.
This is the very end of the game, so...
What was that? It sounded like you set up a nightclub in the church. That's great. Entrepreneurship is a great new career for you, after police officer.
4 kids were living in a tent on the ice. They were going
to save my
go
ass again.
unplanted. It's not optimal, but the building was abandoned, so he put them in there.
It's not that okay. Get off this subject now.
I don't want to, but you discovered a new species and solved the murder. So I have to. Jude?
Anything that ends the trial is okay with me.
Agreed. The public relations potential of this is too valuable to...
Okay. We have vehicles in the square, and the perpetrator.
Now you will finally get to know who you are. The man looks westward, jingling his car keys in his pocket.
Who are you? You're a gym teacher, Harry. Well, obviously you're not a gym teacher anymore, but...
Before you were a cop, you were a gym teacher in Coron. It's getting really cold outside. Should we maybe...
No, a regular one.
You haven't told us about that. You just told us about being a gym teacher.
Harry, it explains everything. The running around, the jumping, the bicep girth, your inexplicable facial hair. The fact that you don't seem to know what homosexuality is, and your moves on the church floor, which honestly were just jump aerobics.
And this guy too. God, even this javelin throwing freak here.
Of course.
He's been on about Mike again. I hate that guy. Oh, you don't say. Does he also vault an impassable gulf of finance and privilege?
It is...
Yes.
It is getting cold out.
In your 20s or late 20s, you've really let yourself go since then. Yes, you taught gym in Cool. I believe that's the term. Taught gym at a high school. You were high.
The smell of sweat and glue. Coudon is just east of Jamrock. It was a short walk every morning.
High school. Harry, your goings-on with Kuno, Andre, Assel, the whole thing on the ice. That's why you are so juvie.
The regular. You found some chick. She inspired you to fight the big fight. Be more than you are. Old.
You, every morning, walking from Voyager Road to teach gym. She, leaving for the academy with her spring coat on. The air filled with the smell of smoke and raspberries, and incredible hope. An ocean full of hope.
I knew it. I knew no normal human being can run like that. He's an honest-to-God gym teacher.
It's not a mystery. Some chick fucked you over. Also, you were drunk. Dora something. Dora England. Yeah, you mentioned the name.
Not Dora Dubois.
Something like that.
Vasa is where beautifully and impossibly blonde people come from.
No one is married anymore. This is Revachol. God, I don't know. 6 years ago, she was way before my time. Yeah, or 7. You're not doing too good there. It's an old man thing. 2 old years equals 1 normal year. That and Dora Engelund really tore you a new one. A big one. Incredibly bangable. She was extremely fuckable, Harry. Gorgeous. A gorgeous bourgeois woman. Wayfish. Like a Welkin, basically.
Snow Welkin. Blonde Welkin. Heartbreak Welkin.
I've only seen a picture, but it's obvious you formed a real spiritual connection with how pretty she was. One you never recuperated from.
Look, the sun is about to go down.
I think she taught in the Académie des Arts, east of the river. Way east. Hard to say which came first, the middle-class chick or the drink. Again, my point is, you need to see a psychiatrist about this shit. Not a psychologist. Several degrees harder. Is there something harder than a psychiatrist? A forensic psychiatrist?
In other words, he's heard enough about this.
No. You're too unstable to work for my boss. You're suicidal, Harry. No.
I assure you, I wouldn't consult for a corrupt unit.
He would
Thank fuck.
immediately backpedal out of it.
Us? With the bloody murder station, haven't you heard? With the bad guys. No one likes us.
That's not true. Jamrock is too big for one precinct. You're just understaffed. And everyone respects the 41st. You have Captain Price.
Thank you, Lieutenant. You're being kind. It is an understaffed station and the district is too big. Which is why we need to...
Get back to it. We left Torsen and McLean to run the Sea Wing. It's not good. Mac the Torso Torsen and Chester McLean. They're not fit to run a wing. Believe me.
They are damn iconic though, Torsen and McLean.
Yeah, not like us. Two clinically depressed old men. Where's the contrast here? We are garbage. God. There are 4 wings, Harry. A, B, C, and D. We're in C. It's made of losers and clock punchers. You and I reconceptualized it as a task force. It was a mistake.
There's also a lot of outside help involved, not only me.
He's anything but a loser, although he would like to be seen as one. It's cooler that way.
Ptolemy Price? He's the son of the old Price, one of the founders of the RCM.
He's one of the most highly regarded men in the force. You're lucky.
Somewhere under the curved roof of a former silk factory, shaped like a ladybird with 2 chimneys, Police Captain Ptolemy Price sits behind a heavy wooden desk. Resident medic Nix Gottlieb pours him coffee. It's silent in the captain's office. They speak of change, the city, the tension on the streets. They speak of the events of April and the blood on the streets in May.
So he remembers that. Yes, there may have been a red-up.
Shooting up churches never is. I was out of town, to be clear.
Our enemies were hiding in a church, to the best of our information. That's it. I'm not talking about this anymore. Your security clearance is shit tier right now. You have to wait for it to go up.
Your clearance will not go up while you're within earshot of the Union headquarters.
Fair enough.
Okay, it's not the bloody murder station. It's an old converted silk mill with green desk lamps and a coffee corner. A lot of good people work there, hard, every day.
Jamrock is the largest ghetto in Rivershoal. Faubourg, technically, but it's divided.
The press will blow over. Jamrock is lucky to have you, and it's often considered to be the greatest of the districts. You're lucky to have it.
Thank you again, Lieutenant. Who is it?
She lives at 1113 Tabernacle Road.
Tabernacle? It's on the way over. Near where you live on Perdition.
Fine, if we're gonna drop you off.
She and her husband were conducting this. They should know as soon as possible. It would do you good to deliver some.
She is going to be over the moon.
Well, first I will go back to my station and write the most detailed report anyone has ever seen. It will have to be good to cover all these. Then I will have a serious detective. We just stopped a small-scale war. Something is happening to Revachol. I don't know what yet, but it's going to be a hard spring for the RCM. We need to get ready, infiltrate, investigate. Talk to Captain Price? I'd rather not ruffle the feathers of 2 captains with my doom-mongering. Work with Price? I'm flattered.
This truly came as a surprise to him. Not a bad one, but he's at a loss.
Flattered? You're Lieutenant Kitsuragi. We would be flattered if you even
I would have to tie things up in GRIH first. But, I mean, whatever is coming, Jamrock will be more central to it than the harbor.
And we also have a huge caseload, Lieutenant. Piles that we need to get back to. Mountains, even.
I do like the sound of that.
He's really considering it.
Good.
Fuck it, let's go. Trump brought his motor carriage. It's a 20-minute drive to Jamrock.
Under the afternoon sky, the great district hums. A chessboard of wooden houses, 80,000 living souls, and chimney stacks. Fire traps as far as the eye can see. From Main Street to Precinct 41, to Boogie Street, forking into the snow-swept horizon. You close your eyes and hear the dogs bark. A lone woman sits by a factory window, dreaming of meteorite strikes. On Rue de Saint-Jérôme, a square bullet slides into a square-shaped chamber. In Old South, a man without eyelids smiles. Spring has come. It's time. Torsen? Yes. McLean? Yes. Heidelstein? No. Vicmere? Yes. Dubois? Yes. Really? Nick Gottlieb looks up from the list. I hear he's quite unstable. You say that like it's a bad thing. Captain Ptolemy Price points his pen at the doctor. It's dim in his office, and the curtains are drawn. Harry's our man. He'll pull through, and when he does, he'll side with Revachol. Understood. Gottlieb returns to the list. Minnow? Of course.
Wonderful. Then can we please just go back to Jamrock now?
Oh man, what a fucking masterpiece of a game. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Oh my god. I've never had such a visceral emotional reaction to like any fucking scene in a game as to the fucking mercenary tribunal. Like, holy shit, that was so intense, man. Oh, like I had good rolls for every single thing in that scene, right? I had like 70% chance minimum for all the rolls, and then I failed one of the rolls, so then I had to shoot them because I had no other option. And they just descended into fucking chaos. And
If you fuck that scene up really badly, Kim can die, and you spend the rest of the game teamed up with Kuno.
Wait,
My
what?
dream team.
Really?
Yeah, Kim can die in the mercenary tribunal if you fuck up enough rolls, and you team up with Kuno to finish the case.
Huh. Damn, with Kuno, huh? Yeah, I thought Kim had died, because, like, one of the mercenaries comes up behind him and you have to make an authority roll. I had, like, a 10%, 17% chance to pass it or something. To, like, tell him that the, person was behind him, and I passed it, I think. And then he grabs the gun, and it's like, then she's gone after Kim shoots, like, then she's gone, Kim too, and I thought that was it, like, saying that she was dead, but that he was dead. I was like, fuck no, not Kim. Anything but fucking Kim. Anything but my boy Kim. Is there anything after the credits, do you know, or? Did Ruby kill herself in your game? Or did you let her go?
I think I let it go.
Same. Apparently after she kills herself, you can then say you don't want to be a cop anymore and you get a unique ending. Yeah, one of those ending spreads. Man. Oh, what a fucking game, dude.
There really is like nothing else like Disco Elysium.
There really is. This game completely just blew out the water my understanding of what a video game can be. You know what I mean? It's like it's the last game I played where I felt that way was like definitely probably Near Automata, and this is like another one of those games. But this is like way ahead of that game in terms of being like completely unique. Really. Oh man.
It is one of my very favourites of
Yeah.
alongside yeah, a couple of a few other things. Like Fallout New Vegas, Final Fantasy 14.
It's just the thing about this game is it's just the pure amount of dialogue that's just so interesting to listen to. It's so hard to write dialogue that is so interesting that it never gets boring. Like most RPGs, like with a lot of talking in, a lot of time, like half the dialogue is just not interesting, and you're just kind of going through the motions of listening to it. This game's the complete opposite. This is the only game I played where I just feel like compelled to talk to everyone and do every dialogue option I can, because everything that's said is so interesting, and the way that the different skills and personalities like interject and change the dialogue is just unlike anything ever. It's just the only game that's really nailed dialogue to that degree.
The way the skills work and interact with the game.
It is genius. It really is. I mean, fucking hell.
That's why that's why I always bounce stuff. I mean, part of the reason I always bounce off Pillars of Eternity is it's just so dry all the time.
Yeah, I keep starting it and then not finishing it.
There's a lot of interesting stuff,
15 hours in.
going on in it, but it takes so long to get anywhere, and it doesn't help. It's ball-bustingly difficult.
Oh man. Oh. That's it. Just get Elysium finished. I guess Baldur's Gate 3 is next, I guess. God. What a unique experience. Jesus Christ.